Hey, welcome back. If you watched my previous video, you'll know that I got an FL5 Type R, and today's video is going to be mainly on doing minor modifications slash upgrades to kind of just continue making this thing my own. PRL was cool enough to send me their wiper delete kit. So I'm not a fan of a wiper. I just don't think it looks real sporty, and I think doing the delete is going to transform the back end a little bit more, along with some other things. I do have, one second. This carbon wing that was supposed to be for the SI, but I never got to it. But it just so happens that it's a flush fit to the FL5 trunk. And I know a dual wing type of setup may or may not make sense, but I think it looks cool. I like the carbon look. Probably gonna do it. Let me know if you think it's dumb or otherwise, but I think it's cool. I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna do the wiper delete, the wing, and I'm probably gonna remove the Civic badge just because I'm not a fan of it. So yeah, we're gonna go and do that. I gotta figure out how to remove the liner or all the plastic stuff that's directly behind the hatch so I can get to that little solenoid that moves the wiper, and it's probably gonna be a pain. I probably won't be able to get to show you much, but I'll try to explain the best I can. Okay, welcome. So we are gonna be looking above. There's these two little handles here, and there's two Phillips head screws. I went ahead and took those off. Additionally, there's these panels. They go to right there and right there. And you want to remove these, and we're probably gonna be pulling from the very top because that's where it's at. I don't think I wanna remove this whole thing because it's a pain. I gotta worry about these. And yeah, we're gonna try, I'm gonna jump into the back of the hatch and try and do this without removing the whole thing. So if I drop something, I'll be kind of screwed, but we'll probably make it work. So let's get to it. Okay, so once you undo these panels and the two screws, I tried doing it without having to take this whole thing off, but that's not working out. So this little edge, you will probably have to stick a trim removal tool and then just start working it. All it is just a bunch of clips that come undone, and then you'll push it back in. So like for this end, we could do the same thing. There's like this little lip right there that gets loose when you pull down, and then you just shove a trim removal tool, and then you just start working your way down. Oh, but try not to do that. Try not to do that. All right, that came out. Set it off to the side, and we have perfect view of the little solenoid right there. That actually wasn't that bad. So learn from me. Okay, so now we can start actually removing this. I don't know if I should remove this or these. I'm gonna start by removing this, but here's the connector. You can see that it plugs in right there. Just disconnect it, and we can start removing it. One, two, and okay, so I almost forgot to do this, which is going to prevent you from actually removing that actuator, solenoid, whatever you want to call it. So you gotta pull up on the sides and damn it. You gotta pull up on the side right there, and yeah, it'll expose this 10 mil, and then you could remove this 10 mil, take the actual wiper out, and that will allow you to actually drop the part. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. You can take this out now. I think, there you go. Just nice brute force, apparently. Now, this connector is held in by these tabs, so just try your best to push that in. You might need a flathead. And there we go. Now it's free. You could do whatever you want. Tape this down somewhere. It's not gonna get used because we removed this. Okay, so this is a pre-production one. And apparently I talked to Spencer. What's up, Spencer, if you're watching this? I believe he said there's gonna be some knurling on the back end to help grip better. But yeah, this is just to kind of give you an idea of what you're gonna get. Just unscrew it. It comes with two little O-rings and a top and a bottom. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so there is a gasket that is in that hole, and all you gotta do is just pinch it and push it out. And it fell. And it looks like this. This is what's gonna stop water from getting into your trunk if you're running the wiper. So you gotta remove that, and these gaskets on the top and the bottom is what's gonna keep the water from getting inside of your trunk. So I'm just gonna try and do this the best way I possibly can. Okay, both my gaskets are in place. All right, you wanna make sure that your PRL logo is aligned the way that you want it to. Make sure it's not upside down. And then I can understand why they put the knurling on the production version, because it's a little slippery if it's not there. But yeah, it's on. You don't want to over tighten it because again, you're putting it against glass. I just did a really good finger tight, and yeah, that should be good. And now you just gotta put everything back. Okay, so that's what the back of it's gonna look like. This is the connector. I went ahead and just electrical taped it to itself. That way it's not dangling around and rattling. And yeah, now all we have to do is just put everything back. Now that that's done, I think the rear end has a lot cleaner of a look. Let me know down in the comment section if you agree, or if you're a rear wiper fan. I never felt like I needed to use it, so I'm not gonna miss it. But now comes the question on whether or not I should go through with installing this. I think I will. Hopefully it doesn't look terrible, but we're gonna go through with it. Here, I'll give you guys a better angle. That's what it looks like looking from the top. Personally, I think that it looks pretty good. I think it would look better if we had a carbon, like the OEM carbon wing, instead of the gloss black one or piano black one. But I mean, with the wiper gone, I think this looks really good. I'm gonna go through with it. So So anytime that you're gonna deal with 3M tape or sticking anything to your body, sticking anything to your car's body, use some rubbing alcohol so that way you can get rid of any contaminants that'll stop the adhesion process, any oils. So I'm just using rubbing alcohol. That's how that carbon wing is held on. It's just by some double-sided 3M tape. And yeah, that's it. I just gotta line it with the 3M tape and then just stick it on. So I was gonna go lay down the 3M tape, and it just so happens that the sticker back here actually says 5-door rear trunk spoiler for an 11 to 22 Civic. So I guess that's probably why they wanted me to test fit it, but it looks like it was already meant for a hatch. So I guess this works out. Okay, so I went ahead and outlined the 3M tape that it came with, and I'm gonna go ahead and stick it onto the car. Now the best way to do this, at least in my experience, is just take out a little bit on both sides, like that, and like that. And now you can mock it up without fully sticking this on, so you can still remove it, because once you adhere this whole thing, it's going to be a pain, and then you have to adhere the whole, or redo the whole thing. So that's just going to be the best way. And then once you actually have it on, you can start pulling and then press it on. Now there's these body lines on the hatch, and that's what is aligning perfectly with the edges. So we're gonna see. Okay, and now I think that's good enough for government work. Just kidding. All right, let's see what we got. All right, a little piece got stuck, but we can remove it later, I suppose. Okay, so here's the end result. It is a pretty nice wing. I like the way the carbon looks. Who doesn't like carbon? But yeah, I mean, it wasn't like completely perfect. There's ever so slight, you know, the edge is ever so slightly coming up. That could just be because my lack of ability to lay the 3M tape properly. But yeah, it's not terrible. It is also probably never coming off, because it doesn't matter how much I pull on this, it is not going to come off. So if you wanted to have it come off in the future, you're probably going to need some fishing wire and strip it of the 3M tape. That's the only way it's going to come off. But we'll see how long it lasts. I'll let it adhere overnight, and then we can see, well, obviously I'm going to be driving the car, but I think it looks good. Wiper delete, carbon wing, dual wing setup. I think it looks really good. So yeah, I think next I'm going to remove the Civic logo. Okay, so the final thing that I'm going to do to the rear end for now is just going to be removing the Civic logo. All I'm going to be using is some 30 mil diameter fishing wire and a heat gun. Be very careful with the heat gun. It is a very dangerous tool, and you could melt your paint off. We're only going to do a little bit of heat at a time, and then we're going to use the fishing wire to kind of put it behind and remove the letters. Okay, I'm going to start with the lowest setting, and heat it up a little bit. And again, it does not need that much. You could mess up your paint. And you can start seeing the adhesive behind it just kind of melting off. And there you go. Just like that. And we can use some, I have this bottle of stuff that we can use to remove the rest of the adhesive stuff. Okay, I went ahead and removed the rest of the letters. Now there's this stuff called Goo Gone, and you can get this at Walmart. You can probably get it at AutoZone, anywhere that sells adhesive, I don't know. Anyways, you can get this at Walmart. And you just kind of spray it on, or you can spray it onto the rag. Spraying onto the rag is probably the better idea, but this stuff will eat away at the adhesive and it'll make it come off a lot easier. Just be careful not to mess up your paint. You want to make sure you're working on a clean surface. So I went ahead and cleaned it with alcohol before I did this, so hopefully I won't give myself any marks on my paint. But as you can see, it's already coming off, so just take your time and use some of the spray. Spray it on the towel, slowly work at it, and it'll come completely off. All right, well, that pretty much wraps up this video. PRL wiper delete kit looks good. Wing looks good. Let me know what you think. If you think it's stupid, it's fine. I don't really care. I think it's kind of cool. It definitely makes me want to get the OEM carbon wing, so that way both of them can match, but whatever. And then we removed the Civic badge, which I think it just cleans up the back a little bit more. I don't really like the Civic badge back there. I removed it on my FK8 as well that I used to have. So if you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button, consider subscribing. And if you want to see more content like this, maybe you want to catch up, go ahead and check out my previous video, and I'll catch you on the next one.